Welcome, class. If you're serious about speaking Mandarin Chinese, you first need a key to unlock its sounds. Well, in today's explainer, we're going to build that key together. It's called the Pinyin system, and trust me, it is the absolute foundation for everything that's going to come next on your journey.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today's session. We'll start with the big picture, what I call the blueprint for sound. Then we're going to zoom right in on the anatomy of a syllable before we learn our very first Mandarin sounds, the labial initials. After that, we'll tackle what is probably the single most important pronunciation rule for this group, and then we'll wrap it all up with how to practice effectively and, just as importantly, how to avoid those common early pitfalls.
You know, before you can speak, you really need a map for the sounds. And Pinyin is exactly that. It's the official system that brilliantly uses the Roman alphabet, the letters you already know and use every day, to represent every single sound in Mandarin. Let me be clear. Mastering this is the most important first step you can take. It's non-negotiable. So, how does this system actually work? Well, it's simpler than you might think. Every single syllable in Mandarin Pinyin is built from two key parts that combine to create one complete sound.
The first part is the initial, or as you see here, the shengmu. This is the starting consonant of the sound. Think of it as the launch pad for the entire syllable. For today, our whole focus is going to be on mastering the first group of these initials. And the second part, that's the final, or yunmu. It comes right after the initial, and it carries the core vowel sound. It's what gives the syllable its body and its resonance. Now, we're only focusing on initials today, but don't worry, we are going to cover finals in great detail in a future lesson. All right, let's get to the fun part, our very first group of initials. They're called the labials, which is just a fancy way of saying you make these sounds using your lips. Simple as that. Our first initial is B. Now, this is really, really important. It is not the same as the English B. You bring your lips together to make the sound, but, and this is key, with no puff of air and absolutely no vibration in your throat. It's a flat, stopped sound. Listen very closely. Ba, ba, ba. Next up is P. This one is the direct counterpart to B. It uses the exact same lip position, but it requires a strong, sharp puff of air. This is what linguists call aspiration. You should really hear that explosion of air. Listen. P, p, pa. The third labial initial is M. Okay, this one should feel very familiar. It's pretty much identical to the English M. All you do is press your lips together and let the sound resonate through your nose. Just like this. Mo. And our final labial for today is F. And again, this one is another friendly one. Just place your top teeth on your bottom lip and push air through, exactly like you would for the English word fun. Listen. F, f, f. Okay, everybody, listen up. This next concept is absolutely crucial for clear pronunciation, so let's really focus in here. Getting this right is going to make a huge difference in how you sound to a native speaker. In fact, it's often the very first thing that tells someone you're a beginner versus a more advanced learner. So in English, the difference between B and P is voicing, right? You vibrate your vocal cords for B, but not for P. For Mandarin, you need to forget that completely. The only thing that matters is aspiration, that little puff of air. And this isn't just about having a good accent. If you mix these up, you're saying a completely different word. For instance, baba means dad. But if you add that puff of air, papa, it can mean to be afraid. Think about that. A small puff of air changes the entire meaning. And the best part is you can physically feel this difference. Let's try it together right now. Hold your hand about an inch from your mouth. Go ahead. Now say ba, ba. You should feel almost no air hitting your palm. Okay, you feel that? Now let's try the other one. Pa, pa. Whoa, see? Feel that really distinct puff of air? That puff, that is everything. So knowing the rule is one thing, but how do you actually practice it effectively and avoid all those common mistakes every new student makes? Let's cover the essentials to get you on the right track from day one. The best way to build that muscle memory is with this three-step process. First, isolate the initial sound itself. Just practice that b or p. This step is so important because it forces you to focus only on the mechanics of the sound without a vowel confusing things. Once you've got that down, then you can combine it with a simple final. Then and only then should you find recordings of native speakers and mimic them. Drill the initial, then build the syllable.
And this slide right here really gets to the heart of the biggest hurdle for new learners. You have to actively fight your English-speaking instincts. That letter B on the page looks familiar, but the sound your brain needs to tell your mouth to produce is totally different. So let's repeat the golden rule one more time. In Mandarin, B is unaspirated and P is aspirated. If you can internalize that, you are well on your way.
So there you have it. We've laid the first crucial bricks in your Mandarin foundation. You now officially have the first 4 sounds down. So the question on the screen is for you. Which word are you gonna try first? Your task now is to take these fundamental sounds and just start practicing. Feel the difference, listen for the sounds in the world around you, and get ready for the next step in our journey. Excellent work today, everyone.